All right, hey, welcome everybody. Doofus Bob here. We're continuing our Battle of Hoth series, and as you can see, in the last episode we painted the bottom here, the glacier, a dark blue, and you can see there's very little pink. I know there's a big mess here, but we'll get to that in a minute. Let me move that so you can see over here. We've got a nice variety of colors. And what we're going to do, that's the first coat that's dried. And I plan to use a similar, excuse me, a similar mix of paint that we did in the last episode. You can go back and look at that. But we're going to use a lighter blue. This is turquoise, I think. Yeah. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be turquoise. It could be anything as long as it's a lighter blue. And we're going to go over it. Even some spots where you do see some pink still, maybe just a little bit of pink coming through, there's actually a thin layer of the sealer on there, which was Elmer's glue, which I think is out of camera shot here, and water, and we had some phthalo-blue acrylic paint. It was kind of a navy blue compared to this. It was dollar store stuff. At first, it didn't mix well because it's cold down here, but then this week is much warmer. Thank God, all the snow is gone. I tell you, I've never been happier to see 50-degree weather. It was just too freaking cold here in the Midwest. So if you look, the ridges now are a different color. So this time, using the same formula, I mixed up some black with Elmer's glue, water, and some black acrylic paint, Elmer's glue, water, and I just brushed a thin layer. Now here's a nice trick I wanted to show you. Because this is so watery, and I'm going to paint this here in a minute and show you. Some of the paint is obviously getting towards the bottom here, and if I just put this down here as it dries, it's got glue in it, right? It's going to stick. And these ridges are modular. I want to be able to pick them up and move them if I have to. Not necessarily to, from a tabletop terrain gaming point of view. Just because if I ever move this, it'll be easier to take everything off and then move the bottom and then everything else. If this is glued to it, it's just going to make things difficult, especially if I'm like going up and down stairs or in an elevator or something. So what I did, I'll put that over here, is I found a few pieces of foam that I had used like this, and I just broke, these are about maybe 1 inch by 1 inch or 2 inch by 2 inch. And what I did is I put them down like this and just put this on there like that. So it's not actually on the glacier itself. So if these little pieces stick to it, I can just break them off. But that's a nice little trick there. There we go. Okay. We'll leave that there for this one. All right. So I'm going to move the camera a little bit so we can get a better position here of what we're doing. All right. So again, what I did is I took 1 part water to 1 part Elmer's glue. And then I added enough black paint to be able to get a nice dark wash. Okay. If it's going to come out looking kind of like a dark pink color once you get it on. And here's a nice little trick. This is a poster frame, but it's still in the plastic. And I knew this was going to be messy. And although I'm going to paint over this blue glacier anyway here, so if there's a little bit of black paint on there, that's fine. But if you see how much I'm actually making a mess, I didn't want this much on there. So let me turn it this way. Not sure I even need a whole video for this. A short would probably have done the job. But I was working on this, and I thought, well, let's go ahead and make a video. You are more than welcome to just watch a little bit of this video. I'd like for you to watch the whole video, but you're probably here for a project or something for your kid. You're trying to figure out how to do something, and you're probably just trying to find a way to accomplish a goal. So it's fine. I get it if you watch some of it and you're like, yeah, this isn't what I'm looking for. But if you do need to watch, say, a few minutes of it and then leave, just go ahead and give me a like. Just helps the channel grow. I think we got another couple subscribers this week, so that's welcome. We are moving along. You do have to stir this up every now. So the glue, the Elmer's glue, oh geez, what's it called? Ethyl vinyl acetate. It does go to, no, sorry, polyvinyl acetate. Jeez, I'm thinking of something else I was doing at work. Sorry. It does sink to the bottom. Make sure I'm in camera view. We are. And so you do have to stir it up every now and then. Now, you've seen I've only been doing the top, but look at the bottom here. This stuff just travels. It's water, right? Oh, sorry about that. Dang spam callers. One of the few people that they should hang in town centers as an example. I'm sick and tired of those damn things. Okay, now remember this side here is along the edges, the fourth wall, if you will. But I am going to go ahead and paint it because I've decided I'm going to go ahead and paint them white. Put the snow on there. I didn't really carve out the backs of all these that well. I'm just going to paint them white, So that's good enough. If you notice, I'm trying to look up here. It's wow, they called again. I have to keep my phone on because I have a member of the family who has cancer. So if they ever call me for something, I have to know they're calling me and answer the phone. So, I'm sure you're like, well, why doesn't he turn his phone off? Well, that's why. So here we go. If it starts to pull away, just go over a little bit more. You can also, because this is a base layer, if it starts to pull away and you get a big round, spot where a void, if you will, here, then just wait for it to get a little bit tacky, get a little bit fresh, go over it. It'll be fine. So now we're going to move this guy out of over here. Get our two little stands. This is kind of where he sits anyway. Probably do it like this. If you're getting this on you, like this, don't worry. Elmer's glue is non-toxic. I wouldn't drink it, but if you get some on your skin, and acrylic is not going to get through your skin, even the dyes used in it is really non-toxic. After this, I'll just go wash my hands with regular Dawn soap, and there won't be any black paint left. So it's just the glue, water, paint. It's fine. Now, if this was an oil-based paint and we were like doing an oil painting, you really shouldn't get that on you. There's a lot of those paints are made with various metals. That's where they come from. So cadmium used to actually have cadmium in it. I'm not sure how they're making them now, but I still wouldn't get that stuff on you. The oil is not good for your skin. Most of it's linseed oil, which isn't bad, but I don't recommend it. That's just me as a chemist with 20-some years experience. Technically, acrylic is a plastic. The Elmer's glue is a plastic. You're hearing a lot about microplastics. That's fine. Like I said, I'm not drinking it. I'm just getting a little bit on my skin, and we'll wash it off later. All right. Let me make this so a little bit more you can see. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Stir it up a little bit. think I made too much because I think I'm almost out. Well, not out of paint, but I'm going to end up having covered everything. So I already did some of the other ones, as you can see, and I didn't see any point in just making a 2-hour, 1-hour video because I've been sitting here for about an hour doing this. I went ahead and glued this piece onto that. Of course, I didn't show that because you know how to glue. God, I hope you know how to glue. I did come across somebody once who just could not handle the glue gun. They couldn't figure it out. It was quite sad, actually. These little crevices over here, if you can't get it in there, that's okay. We're gonna we're gonna fill that in with whatever material we use to make our snow. And two, remember the main purpose, like when we were doing our spaceport, if you haven't seen that series, there's a playlist for that, was because we were using all kinds of spray paint and primer and all that. We're not doing that here. So you really don't need to seal this as well, but because I haven't fully decided how I'm going to do everything, I decided to go ahead and seal it. So we're base coating and sealing at the same time. Been giving some thought to the snow, and I think what I'm going to try to do is we don't need the Elmer's glue once we get to that layer. So I've got, hold on, let me grab this and I'll show it to you. I was at Michael's, I'm sure you have one, or a Hobby Lobby, and this was about a year ago. They had a sale. Boy, look at that. 32 ounces, a quart of white paint by Craftsmart, it looks like. I've used a little bit of this already. It's pretty good stuff. Much better than the dollar store stuff. But anyway, look for not generic, but maybe a little bit lower scale stuff, especially for base coats and stuff. When it comes to final touch-ups, figures, detailing and stuff, we're going to use our paint set, like the army paint set or something like that. But this is what we're going to use for the white. And I was thinking, when it comes to the snow, I think what I'm going to do is similar to what I'm doing here. I'm going to get the acrylic paint, water it down. Push this over there. There we go. And we're going to water it down like a wash, okay? Well, not like a wash. It is a wash. And then we will put that over the glacier part, not the ridges. Not the ridges. Ridges will be a little bit different. I haven't figured that one out yet. And I'm actually watching other two YouTube videos on how to do stuff and getting ideas. This is me showing you what I'm doing. There's other people out there doing other stuff. So feel free to check those out too, especially the terrain tutor. I totally recommend him. All right, let me see if I can put this over here. You can see how much got on the bottom. That's okay. Oh, it's going to tip. Oh, hey, it stands up. Okay. So I'm going to clean this up. Boy, I made way too much black paint. Oh, hold on. I got one more piece here. All right, we forgot about our gate. But I still made too much black paint. But that's good because everything is going to be one color. We could go back over it again and put another layer, but I don't think we really need to. I think we can go straight to start doing the white and other stuff. They'll come out. Now you're probably like, well, wait a minute, Bob. If you're gonna put white paint over this, and now you've got all this black on here, you know, one, the black allows you to see what you've covered. Okay, it's very nice. Two, remember these are ice ridges that are actually rock covered with snow. So for the glacier itself, we're going to use a thin white wash first. And then we will come up with a mixture of snow that's a little bit, has a little bit, maybe some texture to it. And I've been thinking about that. I think we're going to use the fine sand technique that we use for this tarmac in a spaceport. And I think if I make a variety of colors, so the first layer will be a whitewash, then just paint. Then the next layer, we're going to put down a white paint with fine sand in it, and that should kind of give us a snowy look to it. And then we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to add maybe some glitter, small amount of glitter, so that the snow has a glitter effect. Now this is stuff I'm thinking about, I haven't settled on it yet. But I was sitting here watching ghost videos. One of my favorite is Franco TV. You should definitely check his out. Hopefully he doesn't mind me talking about his channel. He's not paying me or nothing. I just like watching his channel. And I believe he's still in South America. Well, I tell you what, this guy, he's caught some stuff. There's a few people out there that say, oh, he's all fake and this and that. But you know what? I've had old members of the family who used to tell me stories about supernatural stuff when I was a little kid. Not, secondhand stories. I'm talking about stuff they actually experienced themselves. So I do enjoy watching the ghost videos and stuff. But anyway, I was sitting here doing that, and I was like, well, let's paint most of these, and then we'll make a video of, let me turn this way so you can see that I'm trying to, yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, I got some on my ready-made stuff here. Let me get that off. I kind of like the way that looks on its own. It's paper, so the glue shouldn't come right off, and it did. Now, if some of that dries on there, that's okay. Just looks like dirt. Actually, let's cover up some of that paper. There we go. Okay, so we've done all this. Now that's a foam. It's really not sure if it's sticking to it. Kind of had to slather it on there, but it looks okay. Now this guy, I want to put him somewhere for the moment. I'm going to take this off camera and put him over here. Okay, we're back. So I cleaned up the other stuff, and I've got this area right here zoomed in. Always get yourself a cup of coffee. I'm still doing the Black Rifle Company Tectascotch coffee. Really gotten hooked on that. I'll probably get sick of it in about 6 months and then switch to something else, but a little bit of sweet creamer in there, and it's really good. So I'm not going to paint the whole thing. Well, I'm going to paint the whole thing, but you don't need to see me paint the whole thing. You've got other things to do. I want to put a layer of a lighter blue on top of the glacier. So for that, we've got our water, and I took the paint and poured it out into this right here. I'll put it like this, okay? Because I don't want to throw that away. I've got a little plastic lid. I'll put it on there. It's just water, glue, and paint. It'll hold. I actually have some stuff that's about a year old and it's still good. But we don't want to go white yet. I want to put another layer. So I mentioned this in the last video. When you're looking down at ice and glaciers, when you're standing on top of it, the deeper you go, the less light there is. So the very deep part is going to be, let's move this over here. So you'll see we've got some dark blue here. We've got some light blue here. Some of the pink is coming through. It's very organic. It's very natural looking. Okay, if you looked at the bottom of a frozen lake and you're going on the ground, this is kind of what it's going to look like. The pink layer is just kind of depends on where on the earth you are. There's parts in China that have the ground kind of has a very, very light reddish pink look to it. You go down south to Alabama and it's very red earth, a lot of iron in there. So what does the ground at Hoth look like? I don't know. They didn't really show us. All we saw was snow and black rock. So I would like to go maybe a shade blue lighter. So for that, I'm going to put just a little bit like that. I just want a little bit in there. Okay. Now this is the glue, paint, and water. But I don't want a lot of that. In fact, that's probably all I need. That might have been too much. Now, we're going to go blue. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's still good. Yeah, still good. So you saw that little bubble come out. That means it's not, gotta shake it up a little bit. Some of the acrylic is separating from the solvent. There we go. Oh, it's, oh boy. This may not work out too well. Let me see. Okay. Well, I think my paint has gone bad on me. I could probably, you know what though? No, it's okay. It's okay. Just need to dissolve, mix it up. It's actually looking pretty good. So it's a little clumpy. So I'm just taking it up on the side here and kind of smashing it up a little bit. Now what we could also do is, since I know my phthalo-blue is still good, we can put some of that in here and just add white to it. I know the white paint is okay. Again, dollar store paint, probably not a great idea. Let's put a little bit of this. That one's still good. And then let's do some of the white. Okay. And, you know, like I said, if you're not measuring or writing down this mixture, you might never make it again. But for the purposes of what I'm doing today, like I said, we're just putting on a lighter coat to simulate the variation in a glacier. I'm going to put a little bit more blue in there, the phthalo-blue that I just got all over my hand too. I know I'm being very messy. I'm actually tired. I had it was a long week at work. I had a lot of stuff to do, bunch of little things. 3 new projects have started. Fortunately, I enjoy my job. this week we, if you ever watched that show Moonshiners on, I think it was on Discovery maybe. It's about, they make moonshine, alcohol, and they're distillers is what they are. So this week, I was actually doing some distilling, not moonshine. I don't want the ATF coming here, but it was a different chemical, and what you do that to purify and get all the nasty things out of it that you don't want, keep the stuff you want. Sometimes that distillation can take hours. All right. So I'm not going to do the whole thing in front of you. I'm trying to keep these videos short, and I will just meander on constantly about stuff. What you don't see, there's no way you can. Right here, up here, and there's a spot right here. That is the black paint, and that's okay. Like I said, this is not the final snow layer, so it's okay if there's a little bit of black paint. Let's see how this looks, because I don't know how this is going to look. Let's see. Yeah, that's about what I wanted. Looks like that turquoise is actually pretty good. And because it's a little gloppy in there, some of the black, some of the blue, it's going to give me a variation. And you can see as it's binding to the darker layer, we're getting a variety of shades. These kinds of projects are as forgiving as you want them to be. Okay? I don't know how anal you are. I'm not very anal at all. I'm doing this for fun. I do want it to look good, but I'm not a perfectionist. If you are, that's fine. I'm not. I have met people that are. It does not end well. Don't need to be on medication. Now we've got a little bit of pooling in this area here. Let's move that out the way. I'm gonna go back through it just like we did last time. Gather up some of the liquid, put it someplace else. These are, Walmart, dollar store. You can go to a good hardware store and get these 99-cent brushes. I wouldn't use these for fine touching. I wouldn't use these for good paint. This is for slathering stuff on like this. What it is good for is picking up paint and then putting it someplace else. And just keep doing that until you're not seeing it anymore. I'm kind of off camera here, I know. But let's come over here. And we're going to have to rub it into these areas here. Let me stand up here. I was being lazy and sitting down. Okay, here we go. Let's try to keep this in camera. Let me come to the other side, actually. Apologies for not planning this out a little bit better. Like I said, it was a very long week, and I am tired. But I want to continue on my project for myself here. Okay. So again, try to get some of this out of there. Put down this layer. And for this part, we're going to just have to slather it in there. Actually, you don't even have to if you don't want to. If you like the darkness as it is, that's fine. But we are going to have to go over it with the snow. So Now here was a little bit of black. You can see that mixed in. We got a little dark. Okay. I don't want little blobs though. I don't want like spatter. Okay. Again, it's cooling into the groove, so we'll use the brush to pull some of that out. At the same time, we're spreading it around. If you like Minecraft, I started playing Minecraft. The idea of just building and, whenever I want to. I'm not playing hardcore. I just wanted a relaxing game. I think the Tales of the Shire is coming to an end. Still plenty of people looking at it, but it's getting a bit redundant now. There's not much else to do other than what I've been doing. I've enjoyed the game. From a terrain channel perspective, I think what we may end up doing is after this, might do a Clone Wars display because I have a lot of Clone Wars stuff. The 3 3/4 inch though, not like what we're doing here. Remember this is a Star Wars Legion. Okay, so this is where I'm stopping the video. The rest is just putting a layer on. I'm going to take the ridges off, put them elsewhere to dry, and then do a coat of this light blue paint here. And then the next episode will be a little R&D, a little research and development into how we're going to do the snow. And that video may not come out next week. It might be the week after because I'm thinking about it. I'm going to watch some YouTube videos, go online, look at how some people are doing snow. This is what, 4x8. And so this is a lot to area to cover. Mod Podge would be very expensive. So I'm thinking drywall. So right now, my current thought is, like I said earlier, whitewash, and then maybe the white paint, a little bit of water, a little bit of fine sand, and we put just a layer of that over the whole thing. Then we'll change the white to maybe a little off-white, a little darker white, maybe a little glitter, give it that glittery snow effect. We'll put that down. But what I'll probably, I think what I'm going to do is get a piece of foam, put it here, make a video of just, snow R&D. Well, let's see how it looks. I don't want to cover the whole thing and then be like, well, I don't like that, because that's going to be a lot of paint and material and everything. And we all know what the economy is right now, what it's like. Nothing's cheap. Okay? Well, I'm going to put on some ghost videos, and I am going to finish painting this whole surface. And I will see you next time. I'm not going to show you the finished painted surface right now, because it's going to take at least 24 hours to dry, and probably 48 hours to where you can actually do anything with it. At least that's my recommendation. If you're in a hurry, you're building a tabletop game and your friends are coming over the next day, go for it. just know that, might be a little tacky in some spots, but you should be okay. There's a lot of YouTube videos on 24-hour builds or 12-hour builds, 1 day build. That's not what we're doing here. Okay. Hey, like and subscribe. If you're a new subscriber, welcome. Leave a comment. Tell us who you is, where you be from, all that good stuff. If you got questions about this, maybe some chemistry questions. I've only been doing it for 23 years. Uh, Put it in there. Do not put your homework questions in there. I've been through that. I don't have to go through that again. That's not no. It's not what we're doing here. I had a friend who brought his kid over one day. He just popped up, showed up, and then his kid breaks out his junior high some chemistry they were doing in some life science class or whatever. Oh my God, the little bastard was there for like 3 hours. I ended up doing his homework for him. Please don't do that. Okay, I will see you guys next time. You guys have a fun time. Enjoy the warmer weather. See you later, everybody.